Um, Hello, Internet. I'm doing a very rough, very unedited video. I decided to act on a very important day today, which is Trans Visibility Day, Trans Awareness Day, however you'd like to phrase it. My name is Aiden. I am trans male. I have been living as male for over, nearly 4 years, I guess, at this point. I thought it was important to go ahead and speak some of my truth on a day like this, especially since my tea day will actually fall on my birthday this coming Wednesday, April 4th. So it'll be a double birthday for me. I had a few things that I wanted to talk about, just for general public knowledge that some people may not know about, but also just to have the satisfaction of having it come out of my mouth instead of just easily typing something out and throwing it into the void there. I genuinely feel like words have power, and so this video is I feel therapeutic and helpful for me. I'm not crying. For me and a lot of other people. I guess I wanted to start this off with, and I'll try to keep everything as brief as possible. I guess I'll start off with when, as far as I can recall, when it really started to click for me, that I knew that I was trans and not just some other classification of a queer identity. Because I've been part of the LGBT community for quite some time, through other labels I've put on myself, which were all true at the time, but of course it's been just a path of self-discovery. And I actually have, and it bears my legal name, that I still have not changed yet, but this comes from actually World Pride in Toronto of 2014. I went up there and got to spend time with my good friends Brooke and Steven. And but I was so delighted to be part of World Pride, to just be there. But then I found out that there was an opportunity to volunteer. And I don't remember the exact details, other than I was slated to help the accessibility portion of the Trans March Pride. I'm not sure where exactly actually, no, I am sure. I think I had already spoke to a longtime best friend of mine, Danielle, about questioning my gender identity. And at the time, I lived in extremes, and so I didn't think that it was possible to live as trans male gradually, as opposed to seeing all of the examples I had up to that point seen, where if you were trans male, you were already, a year plus on testosterone, and you had top surgery, and you fully presented and passed as male. But that's not the case, and I'll touch more on that in a little bit. But this is the lanyard and pass that I had received. It's actually quite cool. It's quite large. And then I got these cool buttons, and I wore them very proudly. At the time, I actually also remember having both just the, I believe I had a rainbow, no, I had the trans flag and the, I believe it's the pan gender flag. It was white, green, and purple. That's not the sequence of the colors, but those are the colors. But basically, from 2014 onward, a number of people affirmed and taught me that it is more than valid to live your life as you wish. Being transgender, you don't have to look a certain way. If you're agender, you certainly can look any way you want. Gender fluid, pangender, but trans women, trans men, you don't have to prove your identity to any person. And that's a really beautiful thing, and it took me a while to really get comfortable with that idea as someone who previously lived in extremes, seeing only very distinct examples of the transgender community. So from 2014 onward, I've been proudly living as trans male, and crying may start. Boy, I'm already 6.5 minutes in. I'm so sorry that this is so long. I do need a drink, however. Again, very rough. No editing. I don't know how to do that quite well. But the second thing that I really wanted to talk about is something that a lot of people that are cisgendered, or I don't mean to use this term malevolently, but just ignorant of facts of the situation, that if and this is to anyone who does not know, if someone approaches you, or you're meeting someone for the first time, or what have you, if someone comes up to you and says, "Hello, my name is, and these are my pronouns," it is non-optional to acknowledge and respect whatever that person tells you. It is not up for debate. It is not a matter of, I see that you have X, Y, and Z from just a straight visual analysis, and so I think that you should be this. That is not how this works with talking to someone of the trans community. It is as simple as, yes, hello, you are this person, and you are insert pronouns here. People that I even know, not necessarily talking about me, but other trans individuals, and of course sometimes it's a human thing to slip up and to incorrectly gender a person, but it is more than acceptable and welcomed to correct yourself in that moment once you catch yourself. We it is far better to catch yourself and to correct yourself in the moment or a few moments after, than it is for you to just assume that your misgendering will go unnoticed or breezed over. Because we do remember that, because just like anyone else, our gender is a very important part of our identity. We personally and as a culture community have pushed to have our identities go unquestioned, and to be respected. I know and have I'm privileged to have a lot of friends and people who I consider family to be part of the trans community, And I just realized now a word that I've not said is non-binary, which is the well, I guess for lack of a better term, the popular choice of terminology for those who do not fall into one of the extreme two genders that a lot of people claim they are. Non-binary, agender, pangender, they're all very important terms that a lot of people also don't know. A lot of people also don't realize that there are so many people who either don't care or don't want to be identified as male or female. Maybe some want to be both, and they're all valid. And those of you who do not understand up to this point from what I've tried to explain, there are myriad educational sources, materials. A quick Google will probably yield more than the minimal amount of information that you need to more understand. I mean, YouTube, where this video is probably going. YouTube is a good friend to learn about and to understand people of the trans community. You'll see so many different people of so many different backgrounds moving towards reaching their ideal outward appearance that not too many people can probably really see other than the person themselves, because that's the struggle we face. That, as a lot of people like to say, people are not born in the body they wish to be in. And I put that in quotes just because, sometimes that phrase gets thrown around by cisgendered people and they don't quite grasp what that means. They use it almost in a derogatory way sometimes if they're trying to be hurtful. And I'm sorry if that doesn't make sense, but I have a lot of feelings. I'm not trying to be incorrect, obviously. I'm trying to be as elaborate and detailed in my... I'm going to try and cut this off 15 minutes in my last 13 minutes here. But going forward, if you watch this, if you've gotten to this point, I ask that, and if you're watching this on Trans Visibility Day, I hope you reach out to someone you know of the trans community, or donate to a trans supportive charity today to help celebrate this lovely and very, very wonderfully varied community of individuals. To the people who have personally supported me, both through private conversations and my own personal transition journey GoFundMe, I thank you. It means a lot. And I'm coming up on 15 minutes here. Again, my name is Aiden. For those of you who are watching this and do not know me personally, I thank you for taking the time to listen and to meet me in my one-sided conversation, I suppose. I love you all, and happy Trans Visibility Day, everybody. Bye.